All right, time for another Nerdy Virgin podcast. My name is Joshua Snyder. It is March 8th. About to be March 9th, right? Yeah. Yes, March 8th, about to be March 9th. How are you doing? You doing all right? Mark Maron would always ask on his podcast, how are you doing? And then this is where you answer, I suppose. How am I doing? Am I stalling? I feel like I'm kind of stalling. I battle anger, depression, fear, anxiety every day of my life. And I feel like I haven't really been talking about it. So now I want to talk about it. And I'm hoping that by being vulnerable and talking about how I actually feel, it will lead as quickly as possible to me making as much money as I possibly can. Good. That's a valid, solid reason for doing this. I've been struggling with people pleasing, and I was just watching this clip of a guru, probably not gurus, psychologist, psychiatrist, talking about people who people please and how they are, they've given up on being accepted, so it's all about being nice, and they're ignoring their own feelings. And I'm that guy. It is hard for me to articulate how I feel with people. What starts to happen if I say something where I think I'm going to make somebody angry, like if I have to tell somebody that I think they're not going to want to hear, if I have to tell somebody something that they're not going to want to hear, I get angry because I'm already anticipating how they're going to react, and I don't want to go through it. So I'm angry before it even happens, and it may not even come to that. And I have to tell myself, I don't have to get angry. If they are the ones who have the problem, I am not the one with the problem. I don't have to get angry. I can be calm and say what I need to say without the premeditated anger. So the anger is the defense, and the defense, and what is the anger defending? The fear, my fear. I'm afraid of. I'm afraid of everything. If I'm having a good day, I immediately question it. I immediately go, well, something's going to come along. Something's going to derail this. Sooner or later, something's going to derail this. I can't enjoy the moment. Stopping and smelling the roses, I can't do it. I assume the roses have it in for me. Off topic, I made kind of another discovery. Maybe it's not off topic because this may have to do with the people pleasing thing. I was talking to someone about this. We were talking about ghosts. And I said, not even really thinking about what I was saying, I've never seen a ghost, but I just have a sense it's because they don't like me. And the other person was like, wait a minute, you actually believe that? And I had to stop and go, yeah, I actually do. I think ghosts, I don't think ghosts like me. Ghosts appear towards other people for whatever reason. But I jump to, they must not like me. In my mind, that is the most likely reason why I don't see ghosts. By the way, am I tempting fate here? I mean, maybe the last thing I want to do is see a ghost at this point. I guess I'm hoping, I really would only want the benevolent ghosts. Are there such things as benevolent ghosts? I feel like there's some are benevolent, some are not benevolent. I'm not sure. My point is, it goes back to the people pleasing, which is the fear of not being liked. And the funny thing, I spent all this time trying to be liked and all this energy into trying to be liked. I don't feel liked. And I don't trust anybody, and I feel like everything is fake anyway. So why am I putting all this energy into trying to be liked? Rationally, I understand all of this. I have to get myself out of the habit, the knee-jerk reactions of people-pleasing, and the knee-jerk reaction of getting angry when I get angry, and the knee-jerk reaction of getting afraid when I get afraid of things, because I'm not even the same person anymore. Like I go on and on. I didn't lose my virginity until I was 32. Terrible with women. Yes, yes, yes. But um, but I take responsibility for it. I am not out there trying to be in a relationship. I don't blame anyone but myself for not being in a relationship. And it's kind of nice not being in one. Am I lonely? Yes, but at the same time, it's I'm only lonely if I don't feel like my career is going well, or if I don't feel like if I don't feel good at work, then I feel lonely, and I think that's a red flag. I shouldn't be in a relationship. That's not a relationship that I need. That's a career counselor. Then somebody told me once, well, you don't want to be alone because what if you, when you grow old, you want someone there to take care of you. That's a nurse. And I think I imagine the person who told me that, not the only person who feels that way, becoming, they're nervous as they get older about no one will be there to take care of me. Isn't the real problem maybe our healthcare program? Isn't the real problem maybe society? There's so much pressure to be in a relationship because the fallback plan is any one of our health insurance companies. That should not be the reason to get into a relationship. And if it is the reason to get into a relationship, at least be honest about it. Hey, I need a nurse. You look sturdy. You want to go steady? Hey, you want to come with me? I got about 5 years left where I can walk. After that, I'm going to need you to... Well, there's that Beatles song, Will You Still Need Me? Will You Still Feed Me When I'm 64? Why were they singing that? Britain has great socialized medicine. I didn't expect to talk about this stuff today, but on the other hand, I think it's important. I fight depression every day. And it dawned on me today that how depression manifests for me is like walking through mud. Like, there's this thing that normally I want to do, but I don't want to do it today. That's depression. And I feel it a lot more than I admit even to myself. And that's, that depression is anger turned inward, right? That's what I've heard. So depression is anger turned inward. Anger is, covering fear. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. It all goes back to Star Wars, doesn't it? What a great comedy podcast we're having right now. And I'm choking down on emotion when I talk about this. I can feel my throat seizing up when I talk about the depression because I don't want to admit it. But yeah, I mean, it's the being in a relationship is really tricky, and I don't want to be in a bad one. I don't want to be in one for the wrong reasons. And then that's where somebody tells me, well, you're just letting your fears prevent you from being in a relationship, and they could be right, but I don't want to be in a relationship until I have more money. I know that sounds terrible, but it's kind of how I feel. Just, I feel like a good gentleman, and maybe this could be old-fashioned of me, but a good gentleman should be able to afford the divorce. And a good father should be able to afford the therapy for the children. Like, the idea that I would have a child and would not anticipate that that child would need therapy. Incredibly, man, what an ego I would have if that's what I thought. Oh yeah, I'm going to be that good that they're never going to need therapy. Are you kidding me? We got to bake that into the cost. Of course, maybe with ChatGPT being everyone's therapist now, maybe that cost will be way down, maybe $20 a month, whatever it is. I got a new blazer this week. Got it on Amazon. Shipped to my door. I opened up the little baggie. I put it on. It fit. And you know what? If it didn't fit, still would have worn it. That's a lie. I wouldn't have worn it. If it didn't fit, I would have gone, but I wouldn't have taken it back. I just the thought of having to repackage it and send it back too late. I would have eaten it. I just would have gone, well, I'm the idiot. I deserve this. And it would be sitting on the floor right now. Fortunately, I guessed right on the size. I think I went small. I think I'm a small. I'm pretty sure I'm a small. Do I need to doubt that I'm a small? Okay, so depression, anxiety, anger, fear. So depression, the only thing I can come to is just take action. What would I do if I weren't depressed? And then do that. And then that helps me stay out of it. Anxiety, weirdly, do something. Don't sit there and think about it. Anger, do something. Don't. So maybe the real problem is sitting here and thinking about stuff instead of doing stuff, being active. Which reminds me, I should be exercising half an hour a day. I didn't exercise again today. I took a brief, brisk walk, or as I like to call it, basic parkour, pre-basic parkour. It's not parkour, it's a walk. I didn't want to talk about any of this today. I wanted to be talking much more about, I watched Julius Caesar, the 70s version of Julius Caesar. Charlton Heston as Mark Antony. I thought he did a great job. I really enjoyed his Mark Antony. And then you've got Gielgud as Caesar, and Jason Robards as Brutus. And I guess Alfred from the Tim Burton Batmans was in it too. I totally missed who it was. It was one of the smaller characters, but he was in it, and that other guy from that movie was in it, whose name escapes me right now. I'm getting old. He was in, I think he was in the Robert Vaughn. Yes, Robert Vaughn. Can I say Robert Vaughn is kind of one of my favorite character actors lately. Do you remember Superman 3? It was the one with Richard Pryor. Weird movie, but Robert Vaughn was the bad guy. I think they couldn't get Gene Hackman, so they got Robert Vaughn, and he was just delicious. He just chews scenery. Fantastic. I think he was the bad guy in Inner Space too, wasn't? No, that was somebody else. I think that was somebody else, or was it Robert Vaughn? Oh dear. But I like Robert Vaughn. Yeah, I like that Robert Vaughn, who was the guy in Blazing Saddles, come on, he was also in the Carol Burnett show. Come on, Harvey Korman, yes. It's that almost aristocratic harshness, that aristocratic snootiness. There's something about that when done right, I just enjoy it. I hope that's not me looking into a mirror. Oh dear. But Caesar, Julius Caesar, great. Shakespeare, I miss Shakespeare. I always love Shakespeare. Shakespeare's awesome. I enjoy Shakespeare. Every other playwright, meh. Shakespeare, awesome. He's just so good with them dare words, Shakespeare. He's just so good with them dare words. And I should respect the other playwrights, but, I respect them, but the aliens came to Earth and they're like, you could only go back in time and save one playwright from the annihilation of all of time and space. It would probably be Shakespeare. I would try to save Shakespeare without George Bernard Shaw seeing that I was saving Shakespeare, because Shaw would give me such crap about it. Oh, really? Yeah, you think he's that great? I'm better. I'm George Bernard Shaw. Hey. You see this? This is George Bernard Shaw. See this? This is George Bernard Shaw. You, not the opposite. You are the opposite of whatever this is. I like George Bernard Shaw, too. I like his plays, but I also like the guy. I think you read interviews with him. He was a character. I think he actually did think he was better than Shakespeare. And I don't know if that... somebody told me that, and I think I could be wrong. I don't want to... here's the thing. We're going back to the whole thing about ghosts. I don't want the ghost of George Bernard Shaw going, I never said that. Dude, I am so going to give you a hernia or something. You think ghosts might, like there's good ghosts and there's bad ghosts. What if there are bad ghosts that are bad, but they're really not that powerful? So they try to haunt. This is turning into a Beetlejuice premise. They try to they try to hurt you, but they can only, he had a full tank of gas, but I got it down to 2/3 full. I got him. He got him. Incompetent bad ghosts, is that a thing? That could be a thing. Boy, that felt good. I felt good about that. That might be something, right? So much of this podcast is me remembering names. And why am I doing that? Because I'm trying to prove to myself that I'm not getting older, even though I am getting older. And we're all getting older. And why fight it? Why fight it, man? Why fight it? All right. I feel good about this. I think I know it's more than 10 minutes. This may be a 20-minute. I don't know if it's quite 20. 15, something like that. You get it. About to do more sketches, and I'll see you next time. I shouldn't end it that way. Listen. You're worth it. You're worth it. Why is this turning into a shampoo commercial? You're worth it. I mean that. Good for you. You're worth it. The Emperor has dissolved the Senate. Fear will keep the local systems in line. Hey, does anyone else notice that we all have the exact same coffee cup? We're in the middle of a Death Star briefing here. Are we allowed to have different coffee cups? Because I want one that's a little bit smaller. We really need to stay on target here. We are talking about the power of this Death Star. The older I get, the more frequently I urinate, so I don't want to drink large cups of coffee anymore. Darth Vader, can you do something with this guy? You want me to strangle him with my mind? You and I were having this exact same conversation before he came in here. We need different size cups. I soak in a giant tank when I'm off the clock, so the last thing I really want is a big cup of coffee. I'm kind of on the same page. Hey, you know that little thin bit on C-3PO that connects his forearm to his upper arm? Yeah, what about it? I took them off of him, and now he moves just fine. What, he can fully extend and move his arms? Yeah. It's the happiest he's been his whole life. What were those things for? I have no idea. Who would do that to droids? Well, he was built by Darth Vader. Yeah, but not while he was Darth Vader. He was Anakin. So there was, there was more good than bad at the time. Well, just enough bad to impede this droid's movement for no particular reason. Bajoran earrings are against the Federation dress code. But you've got no problem with the Klingon sash? That's right. And now that you mention it, I have no idea why we don't have a problem with the sash. Yeah, if somebody's got long hair, you can't even see the earring. Why do we allow Worf to wear the sash? I dare you to tell him not to. If he can wear the sash, I can wear the earring. And I should be able to wear bell-bottoms. We're not letting you wear bell-bottoms, Jim. It's a part of my culture. You're from Cleveland. Do you have a problem with Cleveland's culture? Shields are down to 87%. I think it's at 0%. Things are blowing up and we're shaking. It says 87% right If here. Shields are at 87% and it's a bubble that surrounds the ship and something hits the shield and it's still up, shouldn't we not feel anything? Well, it hits the bubble and the bubble moves the ship. It's a bubble of energy. Why would it be connected to the ship? I think it's something to do with gravimetrics. I think you're looking at the wrong thing. I'm not it says 87. Oh, I'm sorry. It's 87 degrees. Yes, shields are at 0%. Glad we cleared that up. I am Senator Mon Mothma. I mean, there's technically no more Senate, so... I am Senator Mon Mothma. Madam Senator, I just wanted to thank you again for the briefing on how to destroy the Death Star. It's not as easy as it looks to brief people. It really is an art form in and of itself. I'll let you in on a little trade secret. The Bothans are fine. Oh, the Bothans made it. They didn't. I only made up the fact that something happened to them to increase the drama. That's, questionably ethical, but still. Mon Mothma. We've stolen the Enterprise in order to save Spock. Now that I've had a moment to catch my breath, shouldn't we have stolen the Excelsior? No, we had to steal the Enterprise. Instead of sabotaging the Excelsior, we should have stolen the Excelsior. It's brand new, it's ready to go, it's faster, but it's not the Enterprise. I think we're a little too in love with the Enterprise around here. I'm saying it. I should throw you out this airlock. You mean the airlock that's broken? It's being taped together? You're not gonna have to throw me out. It's about to... We should have stolen the Excelsior. Lord Vader. Yes, Master. Shall we go to that opera where there are bubbles that are floating around on stage and people are kind of floating in and out of the bubbles? Yes, Master. Or we could just stay in. Either way, Master. Should we stay in or should we go to the bubble opera? Either are acceptable, Master. You know, for once, it would be nice if you had a strong opinion about what to do. I live to serve my master. You know, it's times like this I miss Dooku. He had an opinion. You know, he hated the opera, and we fought over it, but, at least he had an opinion. It's the Borg. Ray Shields. They just want to talk. Put them on screen. We are the Borg. Resistance is not futile. We are not going to assimilate you. Not at all believable. Is this like a reverse psychology thing that you're doing? No, seriously. We are not going to assimilate you. Why would you be winking at us? Boy, this is kind of a letdown. I was expecting, the Borg. Why don't you come on over for some tea and crumpets? Wow, they've really gone downhill. Must be a new queen. You guys have a new queen or something? We just seem to always be outsmarted, so we thought we would outsmart you. You do realize by explaining that you're even farther away from outsmarting us. Unless us explaining that is part of the plan to outsmart you and you don't see us coming. What do you mean, see us coming? You're right there. We've been discovered. Withdraw. Boy, how the mighty have fallen, huh? They've engaged the Borg at Wolf 359. Just awful. Yeah. How long do you think it's gonna be? The fate of the Federation lies with this battle. Right, yeah, very important. So 2 hours, 3, it's right in the way for me to get to Risa. It's gonna delay my flight. Are you saying your vacation to Risa is more important than the fate of humanity? You're absolutely right. I just can't make a direct flight now, I guess. Here at Starfleet Academy, our starship is also our school. Great, I'd like to check into my dorm room. You can't right now. The ship is under siege in a nebula. Well, where are we supposed to take class? No idea. It might make more sense in the future to have the starship and the school be separate things, kind of like how it is everywhere else through all of time and space. It's not a bad idea. You should put it in the suggestion box, which is currently in space in a nebula. Yes, if the spaceship is not here on the Academy grounds in San Francisco, it's just an empty field and you're going to have to use the bathroom in the restaurant across the street.
Nerdyvirgin.com